Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something pretty deep. We're talking about our aspirations, the things we desperately wish would never change in a world that, never stops changing. And we'll also look at the illusions that can trip us up along the way.
So let's just jump right in with a question for you. Seriously, think about it for a second. If you had a magic button, a never change button, what one thing in your life would you press it for? Is it a person, a feeling, maybe a certain skill you have? Just hold that thought in your mind.
So, what would that be? The source material we're looking at today offers a really powerful and maybe kind of unexpected answer. It's a wish that really gets to the heart of what it means to be human and to struggle.
Wow. See? It's not about freezing a perfect moment in time. It's about locking in something so much more fundamental, resilience. The author here is talking about this deep-seated need to always have the strength to get back up after a fall. You can feel the pain in that, right? The fear of slipping up and not being able to recover, of looking in the mirror and not recognizing who you see. It's the ultimate safety net.
Okay, so this whole idea of a never change wish brings us to the key word for this explainer. Let's just make sure we're all on the same page with what we're talking about. The word is immutable. Sounds a little fancy, I know, but all it really means is something that's fixed, permanent, unable to be changed. So when we're talking about an immutable aspiration, we're talking about that one core thing we wish we could protect from all the chaos and change that life throws at us. But here's the thing. Life isn't just about what we want to protect, it's also about figuring out the obstacles in front of us. And this next part introduces just a brilliant metaphor for that exact challenge.
Just let that one sink in for a second. What a powerful image, right? It just perfectly captures how much energy we can waste trying to open doors that were never really doors in the first place. They're just illusions.
And this is such a critical distinction to make. See, a locked door, that's a real problem, but it's a solvable one. It's a challenge that asks you to find the right key. Maybe that's learning a new skill, or trying a different approach, or just plain old hard work. But a painted door, that's something else entirely. It's a trick. There is no key. The only winning move you have is to see it for what it is, an illusion, and just walk away.
And this brings us right back to that core desire we started with. The wish isn't just to be resilient. It's for the wisdom to tell the difference between a real challenge and a painted door. Because let's face it, the future is so hard to see, and it's so easy to waste our precious time and energy pushing on walls that are never, ever going to move.
So why is spotting these painted doors so important? Well, because constantly pushing on them is absolutely exhausting, and it launches a direct attack on another universal and often very fragile part of us, our passion. Let's break down that internal battle.
Oh, you know this feeling. We've all been there. An idea grabs hold of you and that motivation is just flowing. It's an incredible state to be in. You feel powerful, you have clarity, you're totally driven.
But then, almost immediately, that little shadow of fear creeps in, doesn't it? That little voice in the back of your head that whispers, "This feels amazing, but what if it doesn't last? What if this is just a temporary spark?" And then, bam, it happens. You hit that first real obstacle. Could be anything, a bit of criticism, a technical glitch, or maybe just a day where you feel totally off. And all of a sudden, that beautiful, smooth flow of passion just slams into a wall. So here's what's really at stake. The risk feels huge. The fear is that this one tiny fall, this one little setback, could be enough to drag you all the way down, to completely extinguish that flame of passion. It connects right back to that very first fear we talked about, the fear of not being able to get back up again. Okay, so how do we handle this? How do we protect our passion and find our way when we're not even sure which doors are real? Well, this final section offers a really simple but incredibly powerful path forward. It starts with this honest hope, a hope that our desires will evolve with us, that they'll transition into something genuinely meaningful. It's basically admitting that we're not always going to want the same things, but that deep down need for purpose, that's always there. So the question becomes, what does that something meaningful even look like?
And this image is just perfect.
Forget all those abstract, vague goals for a second. Just picture this, a steaming pie on a table literally glowing like a treasure chest. It's not some distant dream, it's tangible, it's warm, it's real and nourishing. That is the symbol for a meaningful goal, something actually worth moving towards.
So how do you get to that pie when the path is foggy and you're worried about painted doors? You stop trying to map out the whole journey. You simplify everything down to just 2 steps. First, just focus on what's working for you right now. Start there. Get your footing. Then, prepare only for the very next step in front of you. That's it. It's such a powerful approach because it keeps you from getting paralyzed by the future. It doesn't matter if you can't see the whole staircase. All that matters is taking that one next step.
All right, so let's tie this all together. What are the big takeaways here? First, the most valuable, immutable thing you can have is resilience, that ability to get back up. Second, you have to practice telling the difference between locked doors you can work on and painted doors you need to walk away from. Third, yeah, passion can be fragile. Acknowledge that, but don't ever let the fear of it fading stop you from starting in the first place. And finally, the most practical advice of all. Find your steaming pie and just focus on taking that next single step toward it.
And that leaves us with one final thought for you to take with you. Take a good look at your own life right now. What are the painted doors you might be wasting energy pushing on? And maybe more importantly, what's your steaming pie? What's that one real, tangible, meaningful thing you can take one small step toward today? Thanks for joining me on this explainer.